They said it was going to hurt my channel. They said the algorithm doesn't like it. They said your community will get tired of it. And I said, whatever. I have created 300 videos in a row, long form. And we're going to talk about what I learned during that 300 process. Today is day 300 of creating a video every day. And it started out as a 30-day challenge. I don't know how the heck we got here. Well, I do. But anyway, we're here at 300. I want to talk about what I've learned during this process. And hopefully you can gather something out of it. Now, I'm going to say right out the gate, I'm not telling you to go create video every day for a year. But I'm not telling you not to do it, because when people talk about this, here's exactly what I think what happens. If you want to hear the easy way, then that's what you're listening for. So if you talk to a bunch of creators, they'll tell you, of course, you got to get that first 100 out of the bag as soon as possible. When you talk to other people, they would tell you, if I started all over again, I would not create a video every day. Well, the reality is, it's almost like socks or fingerprint. I guess not socks. I meant shoes or fingerprints. Yours is yours. Somebody else's is not yours. So again, I can't say I recommend to everybody that you create 300 videos in a row. But what I did know going into this, the sooner you get the reps out, the sooner you can gain the skills to pay the bills in order to get to do what it is that you want to do. So again, it started out as a challenge because I'm always telling people to get that first 100 videos. And I don't remember how it came about, but I think somebody said to me, well, you mostly create live videos, which was true. I was going live 3 or 4 times a week between this channel and the work channel, but I hadn't done a quote unquote recorded video for quite a while. So I was like, that's nothing, because what happens is people were talking about, catching creative burnout. I still stand on business with there is no such thing as creative burnout when you know your purpose, when you know your mission and you know what you want, you know what you're doing it for. You're not doing this for some misguided reason, being the vanity metrics or the superficial numbers that are basically put there by platforms as a way to keep you invested. Honestly, they're a psychological trigger, or for the people that are just chasing the bag. And if you're chasing the bag and you lose your direction and you lose your purpose, you can easily get sidetracked. But when you know what you want to do and you know why you're here and who you're doing it for and that whole 9 yards, it is really hard to not show up. And I wanted to prove that. So I wanted to prove that I could do this every day with a full-time job and a busy schedule and old, no problem. It won't even be a sweat off the frog's back. It was just, let's just do them and get it done. So started this challenge, and again, the why was my community wanted to see it. The second why was to prove, that there's no such thing as creative burnout. Like there's burnout, there's DSM-5 level burnout. Creative burnout, again, people want to hear what it is that they're searching for. So if you hear that if you do too much, you'll get burned out, that's a good way to not do any work at all, right? Also, fully understand that if you happen to have some neurological situation that causes burnout, that's a different conversation. That requires therapy and maybe medication. That's whole different. But creating content and all of a sudden you don't feel like creating content, I don't know. That's different. There's 2 totally different things. And then I wanted to set an example. I wanted to set an example that anybody can do this. And I also was hoping that at some point in time I might inspire somebody. So here's what I learned. The first thing I learned is I have been creating content for quite a long time. Like YouTube platform beginnings back 2006. Prior to YouTube, I was creating content. Just wasn't on YouTube. And with all of that experience, I still got better. I got much better at creating content. I got faster at creating content. And I guess the biggest one of all is with those reps in, getting up to do it so much easier. Like I never lack the quote unquote motivation to do this. Anybody who's followed my channel for a long time, I think motivation to the sense that the way people use the word is BS. You do what it is that you want to do. Technically that is motivation, but it's not the same thing as I got to go, and I'm get jacked and then jump in. Like, no, to me, that's not a thing. I don't have to do that. I'm just like, hey, got to make this video. Let's go. It is never, oh my God, I got to make a video. I mean, I've made videos at midnight and not even a thing. Like, it's not anything. And again, not a superpower. And again, if you're finding the struggle somewhere, then you have to ask yourself, why do you even want to create in the first place? If it's a struggle for you, then why do you want to create? And the why needs to be stronger than the struggle. Okay? Like when I played football, yeah, sometimes practice was a struggle, but the why was I wanted to play. So the why was stronger than the struggle, right? You've been in a bad relationship, but you're trying to make it work. Sometimes the why is stronger than the struggle. Not everything is going to be easy, and I'm not saying it is easy, but I'm just saying I don't struggle with the come down here, turn on the camera, spit game. Not a thing. And if you're willing to go past that, you might find out your why is stronger than the struggle. Anyway, let's not get stuck on that point. One other thing that I learned how to use DaVinci because one of my users, thank you, Paul. Paul said, hey, I want to know how to use DaVinci Resolve. You figure it out and teach me. I was like, okay, bet. Let's jump into DaVinci Resolve. So I did. I did a 30-day challenge on DaVinci, and that's pretty cool. I like it. I don't have DaVinci and Final Cut that I use, and I like them both. I kind of switch back and forth. You know, yesterday's video, I did it in DaVinci because AutoCut was going to make it so much easier to put it together. And anyway, so that's a cool thing. I also learned a lot about myself. That's deep. A whole video about it. I'll link it maybe. But yeah, I learned a lot about myself. And again, I thank my community for coming through and helping me get to a point where I needed to go figure these things out. And then the big one for me, I learned a lot about you. I learned a lot about each and every one of you who come into the comments and you say what you got to say and you're very supportive and what you want to learn and where you're feeling stuck and how I can help and what videos you want to see. And I appreciate that. Please, more of that. Absolutely more of that. That is the thing that makes this boat float. Yes, love it. Absolutely love it. And again, you know, they said it was going to be bad for your channel. They say that the algorithm will get tired of you posting every day. They say you will get more views on the video if you let them breathe a little longer. So that wasn't important because I know what my why is. Now, if your importance is seeing vanity metrics because that somehow turns your light bulb on, yeah, okay, I'm sorry for you because it's going to be rough, but that's the thing. But you know, now what's crazy, if there was a negative takeaway, was I thought by doing this, I would bump and get to my 20,000 faster. But in the process of this last 300 days, the way that the platform works has completely flipped. It is now about an interest graph and not an attention graph. And what that means is it's not about how many subscribers and followers and things you have. It's really about people finding the videos that resonate with them because they get what they want, which is important to YouTube because they want to give the viewers what they want. So had I done this 2 years ago, I probably would have made 50, 60,000 subs when the way the algorithm worked like that. At this point in time, it's not about those numbers. It's about making videos that people want to see. So, you know, there was a late to do this experiment. If I really cared about those numbers, I should have did it 2-3 years ago. At this point in time, it's not going to make you get a lot more subs per se, but you can look at your audience and see that it's reaching more people. I am definitely reaching more people. It's just the mentality on the platform today isn't very subscribe heavy, and that the subscribers might go away. And it doesn't matter if it does. If it doesn't matter if it does or not, I make these things because I want to help people. And if you have the let me help one person a day mentality, you'll go far. If you turn that into helping 10 people a day, you'll go further. And if you could turn that into helping 100 people a day, you'll go the furthest. But at least helping one person is dope, fam. Like, don't you feel good when, you know, somebody get their hands full and you open the door for them and they say thank you? Like, that's just being a good human. Like, be a good human, as my man D-Man likes to say. So at this point, I still got another 120 to go because I opened my big mouth. But I'm cool with it. Like, I'm in a good place. I'm enjoying creating content. I'm enjoying watching you guys learn. I'm enjoying watching people like Taisha succeed and Ed. Ed mentioned yesterday, he thought it was going to be hard. He thought it was going to be scary. He's on like day 9 and he's like, wow, this is way more fun than I thought. You know, like these things happen. And so I know for a fact that somebody is still scared to give it a try. And I'll tell you the formula. Start out with 3 and do that 10 times. That equals 30. And a lot of times just from that first 30, you're good. But if you repeat that 33 times, that's 90. Add an additional 10, you got that first 100 videos done. And you say, well, I'm already 100 videos in. Yeah, but maybe you need to redo another 100 videos because you need to get that new momentum. And most of all, if you create at this clip, you will find out if you really like your niche. A lot of people don't understand that. They're creating for the wrong reason. They think they know what their niche is, and they don't really know. 9 times out of 10, you are your niche. And if you don't like what you create, nobody else will. So it's a weird dichotomy of creating for yourself, but then also creating for your community, finding a way to get to that happy medium, that happy Gilmore, and your content will start to sing. But if you create 30 videos in a row and you like, I did not enjoy that, you probably don't like what you're talking about, and you might need to switch topics. Find something that works for you. So again, based on yesterday's video, if you're willing to take a challenge like this, you don't have to get to all 300, but just try. Try go as far as you can before you're like, okay, that's enough. Let me pull back and see what I can do. But trying to crank them out one at a time, I'm sorry. If you got one at bat at game, you're going to have a hard time setting the home run record. It's just not going to work. You know what I mean? If you want to be good at anything, you got to do more of it. And the more you do, the better you get. It really is that simple. So that's what I learned in the last 300 days. Again, 120 more. And you know what I always say right here? I do not know who needed to see this, but if it was you, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. And yes, I'm going to keep saying it, even it doesn't really matter. But right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video I think you should watch. And I agree with him.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where. I need everything.
Thank you for watching all 300.
Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse. I'm ready for war. I'm coming for throats to turn to a ghost. I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let them in talk.